This is the second video of this car that we are making today. It's a 1989 BMW 320 Touring, and I think it has about 200,000 kilometers, and I truly believe they are original kilometers because odometer still works and the condition of the car is so nice that I do believe this car has about 120, 130,000 miles, which is 200,000 kilometers. Well, let's take a look and see what we have. Now, as I mentioned before when I did a walk around, there was some paint work on the car. It's all done in good quality. The paintwork doesn't look fresh. There are some scratches, which tells me that it was done some time ago. As far as underneath, there was also some work that has been done at some point, but it's not major and it's only in these very sensitive areas. First of these areas is right here behind this wheel, and you can tell that this is not fresh at all. But over here there was some corrosion and this was fixed. I don't know why, but this always happens on the right side, and the left side is usually not rusted, and as you can see, this is all original. But again, this was done some time ago and I don't think it's a big deal. It's fixed, and it was fixed a long time ago. The rest of the car looks very nice, and you can see this is all original. As far as suspension components, they don't show any rust. The rear carrier doesn't show any rust. This is where your spare wheel goes. This is all nice and original. Floorboards look nice as well, but before I do that, I want to show you that a lot of brake lines were replaced, and this was all done by the previous owner. You see, this is a newer brake hose. I think that one was also replaced. What we did is we did replace this caliper because it was sticking, and when we did the caliper, we also put brand new pads in the rear. This also is a newer brake line, so it's newer, but it's not brand new. Somebody did replace the rear muffler, and again, doesn't look super new, but it was probably done less than 12 months ago if I had to take a guess. So let's look at the rest of it. Floorboards look all nice and original. Here you have rocker panels from the inside. You can see how here someone lifted the car incorrectly. This is all factory seam sealer, so this is all there. The only repair that I see on this vehicle underneath is this area right here, and this looks to me like it was done perhaps at the same time as when they replaced the rear muffler. Not super recent, but probably within a year. And this is probably the most sensitive to rusting area of any E30. These squares fall off. What also doesn't help is that a lot of people think these are lift points. They are not. The car actually is resting on lift points right now, but these are not lift points, but people use them as lift points. And when these get a little soft, if you put a jack here, you will just make a hole. Now this here is all original, and you can tell this hasn't been touched, which is telling me that this side probably wasn't too bad either, especially that you can still see the shape of the original square. So it actually all looks very nice and very original. You do have some new lines here as well, and the engine is very dry. Hasn't been cleaned. You can tell it hasn't been cleaned. One thing that's kind of unusual about this car, we've had so many of them, I have never seen this cover or this cover. They're always missing. I didn't even know these cars were supposed to come with these things, because every single one that we ever had, as far as I remember, these plastics were not present. So that's a good thing. All here is dry as far as your rack and pinion and all the good stuff, and again, front suspension looks very nice as well. That's About it, I believe. Car drives very nice. We did a complete tune-up. Oh, tires. Tires look very nice, and the tread is deep, but they're a little older tires. They don't have any dry rotting or anything, but if I'm reading this correctly, these tires may be about 10 years old. But again, the tread is good. There is no dry rotting. I don't know if this car was stored inside, but it just tells you that the car probably was not driven a lot in the last 10 years. But it looks good, and it is original, and it really doesn't have any rust, and it doesn't look like a lot of rust was repaired. So that's it.